Tilapia is loved very much in my household, as I know it is in many others. And I have been given that honorable job of presenting it in exciting ways each time I have the opportunity in order to spruce things up in the variety department. So here is one of the ways: tilapia stew. We're going to start with a dry rub consisting of garlic powder, crushed white pepper, cayenne pepper, ginger powder, cumin, all-purpose seasoning, and some salt. Stir together and you have a very tasty dry rub, which we're going to rub onto our tilapia pieces. The cumin I added is probably the most overpowering ingredient in this dry rub, so a little bit goes a long way. And cumin is perfect for fish like tilapia, which can have that algae taste. All right, now this here is tilapia that is wild caught, so it doesn't have that algae taste, but if that's the only kind of tilapia you have access to, then cumin is the way to go. So make sure that you are rubbing in this dry rub into all the crevices of this tilapia, which has been washed thoroughly with some lime juice and soaked in some ginger juice and lime zest. It really freshens up the tilapia. I have showed how I do that in a few videos I have shared previously. Then you must allow the tilapia to marinate 30 to 45 minutes at room temperature prior to frying. I'm going to be frying it today in some avocado oil that has gone into the wok. I let it come to a sizzle and then I place in my aromatics: rosemary, scallions, Scotch bonnet chili, and some fresh thyme. Tilapia needs aromatics so bad due to that distinct fresh water character it presents with most times. I have added 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour, which is going to serve the purpose of preventing the fish from sticking while it's frying. It will also help it to fry super crispy, which is what we are aiming at. Now the oil is hot enough so the fish gets placed in there safely. And then we will allow the fish to fry until crispy. We will have to go in at some point to turn them. Once the aromatics have done their job of infusing their aroma into the oil, you can take them out before they begin to burn. And here we are turning the fish and you can see it is fried super crispy. And what makes me happiest is the fact that even though it's fried crispy on the outside, it is still moist inside. That is win-win every day in Anaba's kitchen. All right, so take those out. And yes, it is important that you fry in batches. You don't want to shock the oil temperature by overloading it with too much fish at once, okay? So go back and fry the next batch and we are almost there. Our tilapia are done frying to perfection. You can actually see that crunch. It is perfect. It is now time to cook the stew, and for that we're going to need a base, which is a fresh blend of scallions, Scotch bonnet chilies, and Serranos, just like that right there. And in some of the oil we cooked the fish in, we pour in thinly sliced onions, red onions that is, and fry them until they are caramelized, as that will bring us even more flavor. Which should take about 3 to 4 minutes. And you want to go in and give it a stir from time to time so you're not burning part of the onions. And here is the base. We just blended. I love the way it just so elegantly allowed itself to just descend into that hot oil. That was beautiful to see. If you agree or don't agree, Please leave me a comment. Drop one in that comment section. I love that. That was the money moment for me. So we're going to keep frying this until we have lost most of the moisture. And then we go in with our minced ginger and garlic, followed by some all-purpose seasoning, which resembles your bouillons. I've also added white crushed pepper. The last thing that just went in is some curry powder, which brings a depth of flavor you will adore in this dish right here. Keep stirring, keep cooking for the next 2 to 3 more minutes, and add your salt to season to taste. We have been frying this mixture since adding the onions for 10 minutes, and now we're going in with our tomato sauce, homemade and canned, with the potential to last up to a year sitting at room temperature in your pantry or your countertops, with no need for fridge or freezer storage. Win again. All right, so you're going to stir that in to completely combine both mixtures. Then you're going to place the lid on and allow it to cook on medium heat until the oil resurfaces. That should take about 5 minutes to 7 minutes. There is what we're looking for. Now take the lid off and allow it to fry down to concentrate these beautiful flavors. That should take another 5 minutes or so. You want to stir it though, just to make sure that the bottom isn't catching. Then you want to turn the heat down to its lowest setting to reduce splatter. If it continues to splatter even at the lowest heat setting, then you will need to invite your splatter guard to the party. All right, so we continue to cook 5 to 7 more minutes from this point on. Now this dish does have a good kick to it from the Scotch bonnet chilies, but you can always adjust that to your taste. I am now adding some smoked paprika, which is a very clever way of finishing the stew, because it brings a smokiness that will help balance that kick, that heat, and it will also help to round every flavor in the pot up. And that depth of flavor I'm referencing is the kind that tricks your mind to feel that this stew has been cooked over a long period of time to develop those intense flavors. Cook 2 to 3 additional minutes after adding the smoked paprika, stirring occasionally. And what you want to see is that key feature when the oil resurfaces. It is telling you that a lot of the moisture has cooked out, okay? And the stew is cooked, really. So now we're going to start submerging the fish into the sauce. We're going to make sure that each fish is smothered with this goodness. Yes, indeed. Friends, please don't let this thing control you. You control this fish. You control the fish. Oh, you tell the fish where you're going in this too. Yes, I'm placing you right there. And then you also there. This is where you belong, okay? Smother it. Yes, you are the boss. And then cover it and let it cook 2 more minutes just to marry the flavors, and go in with some garnish. I used fresh red onions today. I cut into rings. It not only brought the garnish, but it also brought some crunch. And here we go. And today we served our tilapia stew with rice and green peas. And friends, I tell you, it went down so well. I cannot even find the words to tell you how well it went down right now, because my mouth is watering all over again. My husband especially enjoyed this the most. When we first met, he wasn't very tolerant of spicy food, but he's hanged out way too long with me now. He is into it more than I am. So the spiciness is there. That kick is there, but it is very, very cleverly mellowed by all the other ingredients, especially the acidity from the tomatoes, the sweetness from the onions, and we use a lot of onions, and also that finishing touch with the smokiness from the smoked paprika. Oh, absolutely mellowed it and brought that depth in the best way possible. So it is chop time, as you can see. So we have dished some of that rice and peas onto the plate and one piece of tilapia, which has clearly soaked in a lot of this smothering sauce. And tagging along is some fried sweet plantains that are spiced, known as kele wele. I hope that you have learned a thing or two and are inspired to try the recipe. Make it a great day and have fun, especially in that kitchen.
Thank you, beautiful person, for watching the video all the way to the end. Kindly leave me a comment and subscribe down below, and don't forget to share the video as well. Also, watch more videos. It is chop time, and here in Anaba's kitchen, chop time is always yes friends. So pull up a chair. We are all friends and family here.